This is how we start off our shows. Okay, we start off on the left side. And we go hodl, 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 save, 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 build a, build a, build a, sound money, sound money. Hodl, 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 save, 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 build a, build a, build a, sound money, sound money. All right, this is Ugly Old Goat here. And I thought with all that's going on in the market, I would do a little, well, it's not quite a live stream. We are editing this stuff before I send it out. Hey guys, want to remind you, the Goat Lady and I will both be at the Financial Summit in the Dominican Republic. I think this event's just about sold out, but if you're ever going to go to an event, this is the one to go to. It's mainly for, a high roller, basically, that, if you're busy earning a living and don't have high worth individuals. So, because it is $9,000, but everything's covered. We're going to be, Tone Base sponsors this. He's got a whole castle laid out. This is one event I never want to miss. I was invited to the first one in Bali, which was just beautiful. Well, last year it was in Dubai, which was also just outstanding. And this one is in the Dominican Republic. I've never been there. The Goat Lady and I are really looking forward to it. I got lots of ideas I wanted to share with you guys too. So at any rate, if you can make that, boy, that's the one event you don't want to miss. And it's coming up soon, August 1st through August 6th. So check that out. It's thefinancialsummit.com. Lots of things going on in the markets and in Bitcoin, so I thought I would get on for a little bit. Mainly, I want to call your attention to an article that I wrote actually the first of the year, and I called it How to Lose Your Hodl in One Easy Lesson, and a lot of people have done just that. And so I'm going to read this through real briefly, but I took the opposite stance when Bitcoin went above 20,000, went up to 60,000. I said, hey guys, this is not inherently bullish. Institutional buying is not inherently bullish for Bitcoin. You've got it wrong if you think it is. And it's quite the opposite's the case. And, I'm right on this one. Nobody believed me at the time, but now they're starting to be believers now. And the danger of what is being offered with Bitcoin lending and other Bitcoin financial products is that it's ingrown in the legacy system. And until sound money, sound commercial free market banking lends to new wealth entering the marketplace, and until that new wealth is created and new non-inflationary money is created representing this new wealth through the emergence of free market banking, Bitcoin will continue to suck as cash and be allowed to store value. Guys, my mentor, E.C. Harwood, called it the lost art of sound commercial banking. It is lost. We haven't relearned it yet. We're just starting out. In fact, I'm going to share a little bit of what we're doing. And again, I kind of failed already, but where are oh, here it is. I think it's in this. The Goat Lady, here. This is the problem. Okay. All right. The Goat Lady opened up a car wash a few months ago, and one of the things I want to do was offer basically sats. These are coupons, and basically they can. This is like one Satoshi. I call it one standard, which is basically a standard is 100 Satoshis, which is about 2 cents right now at $20,000. Here's 10, which would be about 20 cents. And here's a 5, which would be about 10 cents. And the way this works is they can actually bring these to the car wash, and they can use them on the car wash, or they can buy coffee with it, or so forth. But it's a way of we're creating wealth in the marketplace, and then we're circulating the Bitcoin. And you don't even need to do this. All you need is a hodl and a Excel worksheet. And all these centralized systems that are building on Ethereum, that's our problem right now. All these projects, if these people would have just focused on what the standard is and concentrated on that, and instead of going from the top down, work from the bottom up, things will work a lot better. And we're starting to see this on a lot of things. You're saying, hey, you know what? Is Michael Saylor in trouble? Is Butharelli, or the guy down there in San Salvador, is he in trouble now because Bitcoin is subject to these huge, large
fluctuations is because everything is coming from the top down rather than the strength is going to come from the bottom up. People that produce wealth and learn how to create non-inflationary purchasing media. This is what banking is all about. But let me go through and emphasize this article because a few of you might be in real trouble. Bitcoin remains a prudent speculation. Now we're down here at 20,000. There's two schools of thought. Some people think, hey, we're going to hold here and go up, or we're going to break hard. A lot of people are in trouble. We break it and go into nonsense world where we break under 20,000, and who knows how low we go. 17,000, 14,000, 11,000. Nobody knows, okay? But the point is, anybody that bought into this idea that Bitcoin just goes up and up and up, it's going to go to 100,000, it's going to go to 500,000 and a million, and to borrow against that Bitcoin, as now people are paying the consequences. So in legacy terms of borrowing dollars against Bitcoin are simply not favorable for the average investor, and especially now. Now, I'd say especially now. Now it's starting to look good again, but I say this without equivocation. And Bitcoin alone is not sound money. Sound money does require an entirely new way of thinking. You got to think outside the legacy box. What may be good for legacy Bitcoin tender is not good, for a legacy Bitcoin lender is not good for the legacy Bitcoin lendee, and vice versa. The legacy system entices foolish legacy players to play the tax avoidance game, and this will cause many long-term hodlers to lose their hodl in the event of a downward spike to $18,000. We're seeing that now. Now, I don't know if we're going to 8,000. This may be the bottom. We may be going below 18,000. The point is, you got a whole lot of people in big trouble now because they were borrowing against their Bitcoin when it was $40,000, $50,000, and $60,000. Now, below the performance of Bitcoin since the January 2014 peak, the 2021 recommendation by so-called legacy gurus to borrow fiat dollars against Bitcoin as collateral to avoid taxes or to earn income was ill-advised for all but the most sophisticated. And that's a fine way for you to lose all your hodl. Now, these highlighted yellow months are the cautionary months for borrowing dollars against Bitcoin. Novices tend to borrow their Bitcoin when it is high, lending to liquidation when Bitcoin has a downward spike, highlighted in red. So here it is, and you'll see that I started back here at the peak of 2014. If you borrowed against Bitcoin up here at 800, 600, 500, we went down and it lost, 80, 90% of its value. It went down under $200. I think it went down to 160 at the spike. And these people got blown out because they had to meet their margin call or pay off the loan that they borrowed against 600, 700 Bitcoin. So then you had the safe time. Once you had that peak, it was pretty safe to borrow against your Bitcoin, and still you started back up again. Now, here's the danger zone. And again, if you borrowed up here at 10, 13, 17,000, this was in 2017 at that peak, you got in trouble because it broke all the way down to under 5,000 and actually bottomed out at right around $3,000. Now, then we had another rally, and the same thing happened. This cycle just repeats itself, okay? So borrowing dollars against your hodl is a fine recipe for the foolish to lose their hodl. And the highlighted yellow months are the cautionary months for borrowing dollars against Bitcoin. Novices tend to borrow against their Bitcoin when it's high, leading to liquidation when Bitcoin has a downward spike, highlighted in red. The safe months for borrowing dollars against Bitcoin are highlighted in green. Now, I write this because I have a lot of friends who borrowed dollars against their hodl in 2021. And that's why I wrote this article in January. And they were following the popular belief that Bitcoin price would just keep going up. So they borrowed against it, thinking it's going to keep going up. Well, it didn't keep going up. And now many of these friends have chose at the time not to work. They were living off their mortgaged hodl under the delusion that it would go up to 100,000, 300,000, or even $1 million, which I agree it will. But it doesn't go there in a straight line. So it should be pointed out that a spike below 18,000 will wipe out all those who have fallen for this legacy system deception in 2021. Their lost hodl will be a sad event, but it'll be well-deserved. And those following this legacy guru advice are assuming a spike below 18,000 will not happen. Well, now everybody's terrified that it will happen. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but you'll see. Basically what I wrote then is what you have to have foresight. And while there's great hope for a new generation with Bitcoin due to it being the longest chain secured through proof of work with a fixed supply, trustless, borderless, and unconfiscatable, all is for naught for those forsaking these qualities to participate in the latest legacy compromise. Bitcoin is designed well to work apart from the legacy system. The legacy system participation in 2021 changed the fundamental structure and dynamics of the market. Now, by definition, Bitcoin tied to the legacy system defeats its primary imputed value that it cannot be seized, or what my good friend Tone Vase, how he puts it, is unconfiscatable. Hodls will be seized first by legacy players from the uninitiated amateurs, and you're seeing that with all these shitcoin promotions, and these large hodls are then vulnerable to be seized by their enablers who grant the legacy privilege. It's likely most of those mortgaging their hodl to the legacy system in 2021 will learn the hard lesson in 2022. Establishing sound money is more than Bitcoin or gold. Bitcoin and gold are useful tools, okay? But they're not a panacea. Like any tool, they can be useful or abused. Almost certainly the trends now apparent will be a challenge to reverse in your lifetime. Yet the innovation of Bitcoin has provided an opportunity to change for the first time, for the first time in 4 generations. With increased regulation comes a clearly established trend to incorporate the Bitcoin standard into the legacy system. This is a de-evolutionary trend. This is not an advancement, but it's a setback. The de-evolutionary trend is occurring at an exponential rate right now when compared to the devolution of the gold standard that reached its most advanced level in the Gilded Age in the late 19th century. And again, sound banking did not come from the top down. It did not come through regulation. It came from the bottom up, and then they nationalized it and regulated it. Of course, this also begs the question, does Bitcoin really provide an alternative, or is it simply a new paradigm granting a brief reprieve that is quickly degenerating into centralized control? Now, while the technology provided a new tool that is secure, easily transferred through national borders, unconfiscatable so long as you own the keys, censorship resistant and decentralized, these innovative attributes are quickly being undermined by those who know or should know better. Guys, I did write a book. This was completed right the first of the year. It's how to put yourself on the Bitcoin standard in one easy lesson. Here's a picture of it. And again, it's a hardcover book. This is pretty thorough. It's 100 pages, but pretty intense. And it's fully illustrated, color illustrations. You get it on Amazon. I'm charging $129 for it. But I also wrote another book, a little shorty, on equity trading because I am a successful trader. And this is the same price. You get this on Amazon. But we got a special deal. We got the Bitcoin starter kit. And here it is. You get a little bag, or Bitcoin starter bag, and you're going to get a Jade wallet with it. You're going to get this classic book. Now, guys, even if you already have this book, we're going to send you one. Give it to a friend, okay? We got Knut, Svanholm's Sovereignty Through Mathematics. We've got Jimmy Song's little Bitcoin book. This is available in English and Spanish. And we have the Bitcoin Rabbi's Bitcoin Money. Now, this is also a little comic book for kids, and it's available in Spanish and English. And we'll throw in something else, shirt or hat or something. And it's all available, guys, for $195 plus shipping. And you just can go to the Bitcoin Starter Kit bag. You want to hit that on the website, or I guess I can. Let's see. You just hit BitcoinStartKit.com, and there it is, guys. You get all of this, okay? And it's $195 plus shipping. And you'll get not only the hardback book, but you'll also get the ebook version where you can hit all the links. And at least on my 2 books. And the rest of the stuff is physical. So anyway, if you want to support my work, please look at that. Again, I'm going to be coming out with lots of new content, lots of new stuff. I'm taking a whole new approach. Again, my belief is that Bitcoin has to come from the bottom up. if Bitcoiners and hodlers believe you need to be your own bank, then we need to start being our own banks, and we need to relearn how it's done. There's no reason why we can't have 100,000 Bitcoin bankers in the world. Okay? It takes more than Bitcoin. It takes men of integrity. And I find a lot of people in Bitcoin are men of integrity. There's a lot of fine balls out there too. But this thing is not on technology alone. Okay? Bitcoin is not going to work unless men also have integrity. My mentor said, for integrity, there is no substitute. That's what we need, and then we can make Bitcoin work. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Ugly old goat.